Hi, Chuck Pirro with Disclosure Source. And today I thought we'd talk a little bit about this new CAR form, the HHDA, which is the Home Hardening Disclosure and Advisory that became effective on January 1st of this year. And there certainly is a lot of confusion surrounding this issue, the form, where it goes, when do you get it, etc. Well, according to the new law that passed January 1st, those properties that are located in high and very high fire hazard severity zones must get a notice, and the sellers of that property must provide a form to a potential buyer that will point out areas of the house that make it vulnerable to flying embers and wildfires. Now, when we looked at this new law, the requirement was for properties in high or very high fire hazard severity zones. Well, we report as a reporting agency or reporting company, we report on properties that are in moderate fire zones as well as locally identified fire zones. And we wondered, why would we not put the notice in reports where the properties are in any fire zone? Why just limit it to high and very high? And the fact that even properties outside of fire zones are vulnerable to wildfires and flying embers, why wouldn't we just include the notice in all of our reports? And that's what we did. And one of the reasons we went that route is because even on the HHDA, the CAR form that's going to be required, it says even if the property is not in either of those zones, if the property is in or near a mountainous area, a forest-covered lands, brush-covered lands, grass-covered lands, or land that is covered with flammable material, a seller may choose to make the disclosures because the buyer might consider the information material. Of course they would. It also goes on to say the seller may make the disclosures even if it's not mandated by law. So it made perfect sense to us that we would include the notice in every report that we produce. Now, the conversation about the CAR form is one that takes place between the seller's agent and the seller. But as far as the notice goes, Disclosure Source will put the notice in every report that we produce, whether it's in a fire zone or not. We feel that putting that notice in serves the best interests of our clients, and that's going to be the seller and the agent representing the seller. Okay, I hope that clears up a little bit of this confusion. It's really not that confusing. It's really pretty simple. You don't get sued for disclosing too much information. It's always the other way around. So I hope this makes sense to you, and I really appreciate you listening. Thank you.